Welcome to English with Tony. Let's learn about a famous but controversial personality today. Before he was President of the United States, before the red hats and big speeches, Donald Trump was just a boy from Queens, New York. His name is now known all around the world. Some people love him, some people don't. But no matter what you think of him, one thing is true. Donald Trump has lived a big, bold life. He took risks. He made mistakes. He got back up. He never stayed quiet. And he never gave up. This story is not just about politics. It's not just about business or money. It's a story of someone who always believed in himself, even when many people told him he couldn't do something. It's about confidence, ambition, and a loud voice in a crowded world. Trump is not a perfect man. He says things that make people angry. He makes strong decisions. He speaks in ways that are sometimes shocking. But many people support him because he says what he really thinks. He is not afraid. He is not quiet. He stands out. So how did this boy from New York grow into a real estate giant, a TV star, and later a U.S. president? That's what this story will tell you. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, one of the 5 big parts of New York City. His father, Fred Trump, was a businessman who built houses and apartments. He worked very hard and became rich by building homes for middle-class families. Donald watched his father and learned about real estate, the business of land and buildings, from a young age. But Donald was different from other kids. He liked attention. He liked to win. He was confident, sometimes even too confident. When he was 13, his parents sent him to a military school because he often got into trouble. At that school, he learned about discipline, leadership, and competition. He became stronger, louder, and more sure of himself. Later, he went to Fordham University for 2 years, and then transferred to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Wharton was one of the top schools for business in the United States. He studied economics and learned how to read markets, think like a leader, and talk like a winner. But books were not enough for Donald. He wanted to build something big. He didn't want to just work in his dad's company. He wanted to make his own name, not just in Queens, but in Manhattan, the heart of New York City, where the big money and big buildings were. Many people told him he couldn't do it. They said he was too young. They said he didn't belong there. But Donald didn't care. He believed in himself. He believed he could dream bigger, build higher, and win louder than anyone else. He was not afraid of taking chances. He was not afraid of losing. To him, losing was just one more step toward winning. This mindset would follow him his whole life. The story of Donald Trump is not simple. It has ups and downs. It has success and failure. But through it all, he kept pushing forward. He stayed in the news. He stayed in the game. And one day, he surprised the whole world by doing something no one expected. He became the President of the United States. In this journey, you'll read about the deals he made, the buildings he built, the shows he starred in, the battles he fought, and the people he inspired. But this is not just about Trump. It's about what happens when someone refuses to quit. It's about the power of belief, the strength of confidence, and the courage to go where no one believes you can. So, whether you admire him or not, this story has something to teach. Are you ready? Let's begin. After finishing business school at the Wharton School, Donald Trump was ready to begin his life as a businessman. He didn't want to just follow his father's path. He wanted to go bigger, brighter, and bolder. At that time, his father, Fred Trump, was already a successful real estate developer. He built apartments for working families in Queens and Brooklyn. It was a safe business. It made money. But Donald had a different dream. He didn't want to stay in the same neighborhoods. He wanted to build in Manhattan, the center of New York City, the place of tall skyscrapers, bright lights, and luxury hotels. In the 1970s, Manhattan was in trouble. Many buildings were empty. The city didn't have much money. But Donald saw something others didn't: opportunity. His first big move was to take over a large, old hotel near Grand Central Station called the Commodore Hotel. It was falling apart, and no one wanted to buy it. But Donald had a plan. He worked with banks, city officials, and the Hyatt Hotel Company to fix and reopen it. The project took time, but when it opened in 1980 as the Grand Hyatt Hotel, it was a big success. People started noticing him. From there, Donald's name started to grow. He didn't just want to build buildings. He wanted to build a brand. He started putting his name, Trump, on everything. Trump Tower, his most famous project, opened in 1983. It was a 58-floor skyscraper made of glass and gold in the heart of Manhattan. It had shops, luxury apartments, and Trump's own office. It became a symbol of wealth, power, and Donald's bold personality. He wasn't shy. He liked gold. He liked marble. He liked things that looked rich. And he wanted everyone to see what he built. Soon, Donald Trump owned hotels, casinos, and golf courses. He built in Atlantic City, Florida, Chicago, even Scotland. He was rich, famous, and always in the news. People followed his life, his hair, his relationships, and his quotes. But life was not always easy. In the early 1990s, Trump's business started to fall. He had too much debt. Some of his casinos and hotels were losing money. Reporters said he might be finished. They said he failed. But Donald did not give up. He talked to banks. He made deals. He worked to save his name and his company. He always said, "Sometimes by losing a battle, you find a new way to win the war." And slowly, he came back. He learned how to use the media. He became a public figure, often speaking on TV and in newspapers. He wrote books like The Art of the Deal, which became very popular. In the book, he explained his business ideas and life story. It became a kind of guide for people who wanted to be successful. One of his biggest successes came not from real estate, but from television. In 2004, Trump became the host of a new reality show called The Apprentice. On this show, people competed for a chance to work with him. He sat at a big table and judged the contestants. Each week, he would point at someone and say his famous line, "You're fired." The show made him even more famous. Millions of people watched it in the US and around the world. Trump became more than a businessman. He became a TV star, a brand, and a personality. Some people didn't like his style. They said he was too loud, too full of himself. But others loved his confidence. They saw him as strong, powerful, and bold. Through ups and downs, good times and bad, one thing stayed the same. Donald Trump never stopped believing in himself. He didn't listen to people who said, "You can't." He just kept asking, "Why not?" In the next part of his journey, he will surprise everyone once again. Not by building a building, but by chasing something even bigger. The White House,